Yo, what is going on, guys? CWpoke here, back with a brand new video. Now this video is actually going back to some old school roots, Mega Evolution. Since Pokemon Sun has been released, people are now speculating on what the next main game series will be, and a lot of people are hopeful to see a Diamond and Pearl remake on the horizon. I've even made a video discussing some things to look for in Sun and Moon as to whether or not Diamond and Pearl remakes could be likely. But this time around, we're actually going to take a bit more of a fun twist. If Diamond and Pearl were to be remade, I think it's safe to say we could actually see Mega Evolution returning once again, namely due to the fact that Sun and Moon's main gimmicks were both Alolan Forms and Z-moves, which are actually fairly regionally exclusive. So with that, I decided to look up 10 Pokemon from the Sinnoh region and speculate what kind of Mega Evolutions they could have. And this video doubles as a showcase of the many fantastic artists out there in the community, so if you happen to enjoy any of their artwork, be sure to show those artists support directly. But before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Of all the Generation 4 Pokemon, which one do you most want to gain a new form? That could be a Mega form, a regional form, or even a primal reversion. Be sure to describe the Pokemon in the comment section down below. And now let's jump straight into my top 10 Diamond and Pearl remake Mega Evolutions. The Sinnoh region is known for its very diverse terrain, but most notably is its snow-covered northern section full of strong ice types. Starting off the list today at number 10 goes to Mamoswine. This ground ice type has always been one of the more prominent ice types in the series, and a Mega Evolution such as this one would be a perfect fit. Not only is the design amazing with the icy tusks and the almost primal reversion looking self, this Mega Mamoswine could see an increase to its attack and overall defenses. And with Sun and Moon came some nice buffs to Hail and its overall abilities. Ditching its previous abilities, Mega Mamoswine could benefit from a new ability like Slush Rush, which boosts Mamoswine's speed and Hail, making Mamoswine an incredibly fast Pokemon with deadly offensive potential. Next up goes to a Pokemon that I'd argue is one of the most forgotten Pokemon in the entire series, Mothim. This poor bug type has always been in its family's shadow, most likely because Burmy and Wormadam naturally look much more similar, and they also both share the unique gimmick of having unique form changes depending on terrain differences. But a Gen 4 remake could finally give this bug the attention it deserves. Mega Mothim is here to try and give bug types a stronger reputation. Looking like it downgrades some of its wingspan, hopefully a Mega Mothim could see a strong spike in its base speed and maybe boost up its offense as well, similar to Mega Beedrill. It may not be the strongest Mega out there, but the design looks cool enough that it'd hopefully bump Mothim out of the forgotten bracket. Number 8 spot is reserved for one of the most interesting yet most underrated or underwhelming water types, Floatzel. I personally love Weavile and Floatzel's designs, but for some reason I find myself opting to use other water types instead, typically Empoleon. But maybe a Mega Floatzel could help change my opinion. This design is something I love seeing with Mega Evolutions that are just over the top and downright crazy changes. And instead of this Mega going the typical route of becoming faster and stronger, Floatzel already has those strengths, and this design looks like it caters to Floatzel's incredibly frail defenses instead. Becoming significantly bulkier, that could be the key to solving Floatzel's fairly underwhelming presence and could wind up having him be one of Sinnoh's stronger water types. With its colossal presence, number 7 goes to the first legendary on today's list, Mega Regigigas. Regigigas was an interesting Pokemon, being the leader to a previous generation's legendaries. But everyone knows Regigigas is built with one of the most hindering gimmicks ever, Slow Start. An ability that halves speed and attack for 5 turns, I can see where Game Freak was trying to go with Regigigas, having an incredibly powerful legendary that takes time to get set up. But with the power creep only getting stronger through the ages, Regigigas' base 160 attack and 100 speed don't even seem that crazy powerful anymore, especially when you see how detrimental his ability is. But maybe that's because Regigigas needs a different boost instead, only found through Mega Evolution. Mega Regigigas amplifies its power and can now finally become a legendary worth fearing. Losing the ability Slow Start would alone make Mega Regigigas so much better, but the average boost to all of its stats will really help Regigigas stand against other legendary Megas and Primals. I think another fun addition to this Mega would be a custom ability, possibly something like Regiboost, an ability that grants Mega Regigigas a same type attack bonus on all rocks Rock, Steel, and Ice type attacks. Using the power of Regirock, Registeel, and Regice, it would allow for Regigigas to have some stronger coverage since normal types can only go so far, and would finally have this legendary matching its terrifying appearance on the battlefield. Another normal type takes this list with Lickilicky coming in at number 6. Lickilicky has always been a fairly humorous Pokemon for me, but that's been about it. Often known as the gimmicky Pokemon only really capable of shutting down weather and exploding, Lickilicky hasn't seen much more outside of those limited roles. Finally becoming more serious in the eyes of its competition, Mega Lickilicky looks like a significantly stronger variation of its previous form. And as I mentioned before, Lickilicky's main gimmicks are typically using Cloud 9 to shut down weather and using that normal stab boost for a fairly strong explosion. And personally, I think it would be fun to see this Mega further those roles. Gaining a brand new ability inspired by Sun and Moon's emphasis on terrain battles, Normal Surge, a unique effect only brought in by Lickilicky, would help make this Pokemon really stand out against the competition. Normal Surge would function like its counterpart abilities, bringing in the brand new Normal Terrain. The effects of this terrain would be quite simple. Weather is non-existent as long as normal terrain is in effect, and normal type moves are boosted by all grounded Pokemon on the field. This would help give Mega Lickilicky strong leverage against weather users and help make that stab explosion truly leave a dent on the battlefield. Reaching the halfway mark on this list, the 5th spot goes to another forgotten grass type, Carnivine. Carnivine has always been a Pokemon I've wanted to see gain an evolution, so it isn't just another Pokemon sitting in that weird limbo of being fairly underpowered with no evolutions. But a Mega Carnivine could also be a fun way to spice up this plan. Mega Carnivine looks like a strong mix of both adorable and deadly. Being a very powerful grass type, Mega Carnivine also drops the Levitate ability and is now grounded, allowing for it to have a more unique ability. But I'll leave this one up to you guys. What ability would you make for a Mega Carnivine? Be sure to type up your answer down below. And going back to Mega Carnivine's design, I can't help but be reminded of Pummleweed, a fearsome boxing plant from Cameo on the Xbox 360. Cameo is one of my favorite underrated games, so the similarity between the two made this design a must pick for my top 10 list. Slashing its way onto number 4 spot, another chilling ice type makes its way on this list with Weavile. Sneasel and Weavile have always been both personal and fan favorites, and I'm honestly surprised Weavile hasn't already received a Mega Evolution. But nonetheless, this Mega Weavile is simply incredible. This is another Mega design from Tomycase, an artist who I've showcased numerous times and is definitely one of my favorite Mega artists I've ever seen. This Mega Weavile is a strong mix of staying true to Weavile's thin and fast appearance, but obviously buffing up those threatening features. This design could also work for Silver's Mega Weavile that I had talked about in my previous Pokemon League video, so be sure to check that one out after this list. The link will be in the description down below. Sinnoh had a cool pattern of granting many older generation Pokemon new evolutions, and while some are downright amazing, others have often been criticized for their strange design choices. Rhyperior is one of those Pokemon that has some controversial opinions on whether or not people actually like it. And while Rhyperior is a Pokemon I personally love, being a Pokemon on one of my most successful VGC teams, this Mega Rhyperior does a lot to fix its previously awkward design. Mega Rhyperior looks a lot less clunky and strange and looks more like how Rhydon's evolution should have in my opinion. But nonetheless, this Mega Rhyperior looks incredibly agile, most likely seeing a huge boost to its speed. And having more speedy rock types is always needed, as Sun and Moon tried to do by adding new Pokemon like the speedy rock type Lycanroc to the roster. With only 2 spots left, the Poison Dark type Drapion stings its way to number 2. This poisonous Pokemon has an awesome fan design Mega that really impressed me. And to make it even cooler, this Mega Drapion has a fake screenshot of what it looked like in game. I love seeing that much attention to detail go into obviously fan-made content. And this Mega Drapion has one of the more interesting designs, almost looking like those gray parts would suggest a possible steel typing. Or maybe instead, Mega Drapion could gain the new Steelworker ability, which essentially grants same type attack bonus on steel moves. That way Drapion could keep its insanely good Poison Dark combo. And finally, the last spot on this top 10 list goes to not only 1, but 2 Pokemon. And to make it even better, 2 legendary Pokemon. The cover legendaries for Diamond and Pearl, Dialga and Palkia. While I did use their designs as a teaser for my Diamond and Pearl remake video, I never went into the full details on their Mega designs. With the power of space and time, both Palkia and Dialga use their sacred Megastones to Mega Evolve into the ultimate guardians. Mega Dialga, the mascot of the Diamond Remake, and Mega Palkia, the mascot of the new Pearl, would both wind up utilizing their heightened power with a strong boost to all of their stats, and most notably would be their new abilities. With the power of time, Mega Dialga could gain a new ability known as Time Distortion, which essentially works as an ability that fans have been asking for ages, an auto Trick Room ability, and as soon as Mega Dialga appears on the field, Trick Room is activated for 5 turns. And the power of space, Mega Palkia's new ability Space Distortion brings a previous battle style for 5 turns, reversing all known rules and creating an inverse battle condition, causing the trainers to have to think extra about the backwards rule of super effective moves being not very effective and vice versa. Mega Palkia's ability could dismantle teams if they don't prepare for their strengths and weaknesses to become completely inversed. And that about wraps up this top 10 list, but I have one last question for you guys. There were a ton of Pokemon and designs that couldn't make it on this list. Would you be interested in seeing another Diamond and Pearl top 10 in the future? Be sure to let me know. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.